Well, a big thank you to Cara De Buelle and, of course, Glen Newland from Professionals. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing your time with us today. Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks, mate. No problem.
Now, you guys are in celebration mode. Tell us all about that.
Celebrating right now, just with a bit of a turn in the market. But yeah, we just had our annual awards night for Professionals, so we got the top office for that one, and apparently to be confirmed.
Oh, we'll wait and see. We've got the international awards on Friday. On such a high from the weekend.
Wow, that's amazing. So top office for WA. So is that the first time you guys have achieved that?
No, that's the 16th year, I think, 15th or 16th year that we've achieved that. So. Wow,
that's amazing. Is that consecutive?
I think there was 1 year that we didn't.
Yeah, Cara was sick that year.
Right before my time, I can't take credit. But it has always been a really high performing office. So we're just.
Well, that's huge. Congratulations. So the other award there, because we just froze there for a second. The other award is a national award.
Yeah,
we are in the running. So we are the top state office going into those awards. So. Wow.
Well, when would you find out about that?
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck. I'm sure you'll do amazingly well. So guys, obviously, I know Glen's story. I know a little bit of your story, Cara. So just give us a bit of a rundown on how you guys ended up owning the office and the journey that you guys have sort of joined.
It has been a journey.
Yeah, it has. So you start, Cara, you go.
I started my real estate career 14 years ago now, coming in as just an assistant. I worked predominantly in sales for the first 6 years of my career, and then I got really interested in the operations of mechanics of business. I went and got my diploma and got a little bit of hands-on management experience, and then decided that business ownership was the next logical step for me. Met Glen obviously along the way in my travels, because I wasn't working in this office at the time, although very closely related, and just thought it would be a good idea to give it a crack. So
support person in a sales team to owner of the business. So how did that happen? I mean, that's quite a large step. I know there was a few steps in between.
I think it was fairly ambitious person, and kind of knew that it. I guess I wanted more all the time, and also a little bit naive as to what running a real estate business would actually be like. And then taking the plunge into buying a really very established business at the beginning of the longest downturn the Perth market has ever seen. A good apprenticeship to, a lot of learning and, I guess reality checked in. But we learned a lot, and I think the best is yet to come now.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are a formidable team. Now, Glen, your story's almost, quite similar actually. Just you came in as a support person for the old owner of the business, if I'm not mistaken, or was it your ex-father-in-law?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yes. Tell us that story.
Yeah, so started with David Wilson in 2008, and just came in basically as a PA for him, and then just moved pretty quickly up from PA to salesperson. I'm very different from Cara. Like, she's all mechanics and systems. I'm not, but that's why we make a good team running the business now. Just basically wanted to get into doing my own sales pretty quick. So just did the real basics of real estate, plenty of door knocking, and just from there, lots of good mentors. Not scared to go catch up with the Josh Brockhursts and the Michael Keels and the Ryan Thompsons of the world, and actually just sit down and have a chat and say, hey, how do I make the next step from where I am now? I suppose there's some people who look at people who are achieving better than them and don't want to be associated with them, but that wasn't me. I was like, I want to rub shoulders with everyone who's going to sharpen me, and we still do that today. We're always still trying to source out who's running a bigger and better business and what can we learn from them. Yeah.
It's amazing that you both started as kind of support people, but one more in the, as you call it, the mechanics, the systems, the structure, the processes, and you in obviously the sales side of things, the income generating. So that team that you guys have created, I think is pretty damn special, and is obviously working tremendously well for you. But one of the things that you guys did, and I'm going to mention it, when I think you did the program with me, was it 4 years ago? I was talking to Scott earlier on, and he's been in the business for about 4.5 years. So it must have been 3.5, 4 years ago that you guys put the whole office on my program, which at the time was unheard of. Since then, obviously I've worked with a few offices, principals and their teams, but in those days it was quite rare, because obviously it was a big ticket item, and you guys just lashed out and paid the money. So you obviously believe in personal professional development and systems training and scripts and dialogues. How has that helped your business?
Yeah, it's
so important.
We've always been really strong into training, and naturally, as a salesperson with not heaps of structure, good at talking and work hard, but I wasn't a natural person for training. And when we bought the business, and that was something that's a role I had to take on and move into pretty quick. But actually trying to tell people what my systems and structures are was, I go to work and I do stuff, but I didn't really have that. When we came in and did your course, there was some real good things in there, which I said, okay, I can take that back and I can use that in my business. And obviously a bit of help, training my staff, because I didn't really know how to do it myself. So, and from there, we've really rolled on. Like, training's a big thing for us now. We do obviously have to do our CPD courses, but we sort of try to make that into a bit of an event and put our own conferences and stuff for our staff, where we go away for a night and we'll do stuff like that. And we have in-house training in the office. Anyone we can get in, it's just good. We want our reps to be really sharp, really educated, know what's going on. Market changes so quick. This year's showing us that more than anything. And then you've got to adapt. Most of the guys in here have only ever been in a decline market, and all of a sudden now it's swung. We're dealing with all sorts of different things. So it's now a whole new bag of training that we're going to have to go into. How do you deal with people who are doing private sales? Because no one was doing private sales in the past few years, but now all of a sudden we know that will start happening again.
Shifting from we have all this stock and we can't sell it, to, oh my God, I need more stock, I've sold everything. Everything shifts and adapting all the time. And other areas of the business as well, property management, administration. There's been so much movement in software and all the things the last few years especially. So you just have to always be implementing and reviewing and making those changes.
And it's interesting, Cara, you especially, because you being the licensee and obviously the mechanics of the business, Glenn to be able to say to you, hey, we need some training for the sales team, and it's going to cost us $20,000. For you to jump on board, that was pretty astounding for me as well, because we normally have the person who's running the systems and driving the business who goes, whoa, there's no ways we're investing in that. So huge hat off to you for that. And no, it was great. So I'm, but I know Glenn as well, having spoken at Homegrown Heroes and throughout your whole career. I mean, when did you jump in, Glenn?
When did I jump into
real estate?
Real estate, yeah, 2008. is when I got in.
So you pretty much, did you say Cara 14 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very 12 and 14 years, very similar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Different paths, but we've got a common goal now.
So tell us, obviously your demographic, you've worked in the Forest Field and surrounding suburbs. I'm sure that the stocks has dried up crazily. Talk us through how you obviously adapted to COVID or your fears originally with COVID, and then how you were able to pull out to where we are now.
We were really surprised by that. I think a lot of people were. When it kind of all hit and everyone got a bit frightened and, how are we going to manage this? What does this mean for us? And, rent freezes and not being able to evict people and effectively, the government wanting to stop people from moving, and has that happened? Border closures, things like that. Yeah, 100%. But I think it's actually times like that where in, the face of adversity that we see that actually the best from our people. They really just kind of get on with the job. And it's such a relief actually as business owners to see that. Kind of commitment and, people rising above and, saying, actually, I have a solution to this, or I think we should try this, or I have an approach that, it can be a solution. So very active, solution-focused people with us, which is really nice because it's not always on us all the time. And you've got, key players in your company that will help you, which is really nice. But we've been very very lucky, I think, to have the outcomes that we've had since COVID hit. We have been so busy, which, if you'd asked me at the beginning, I was like, oh, that's it. Close the doors. We're done. It's finished. But it's been the complete opposite actually. So thankfully, definitely a lot of and adapting to ever-changing circumstances. But as far as the market goes, I think Perth has been quite sheltered and quite, good, really.
And even when COVID hit, we already had a very solidified team at that time because the 4 years prior of the Perth market, as I'm sure it has with many real estate businesses, just weeded out all the people who were, half-hearted about it. The people that we've got here now generally want the best for themselves and the company. They want a career, they want career paths, they're long-term, they put in their own blood into this business as well. And that's something which we like to think that we reward. We've got such a strong culture in our office. Like we've really worked. I mean, the thing which has just driven us through, we had to get rid of some people who were toxic for the culture along the way. And some of those people, especially when you're talking sales, they're those guerrilla salespeople who make demands and upset the apple cart. And not only have we cut people like that, but we've also said no to people like that who want to come into the office. We're talking big, serious writers who put big amounts of dollars on the board, but they're going to upset the office because they do it. They do it in every office. And you'll have them for a year or two and then they'll go somewhere else anyway. And that's very tempting to take people like that when sales are really down and the board is struggling a bit, as it has in the last 4 years. But we saw it through. We went from 20 plus agents to 8 now. So we're running a really streamlined tight ship, but the people who are here and have seen it through are now getting the rewards. We're a big office. We generate a lot of leads. And so that is now, is really paying off for the agents who are here because they're getting so many leads coming through. It's not 1 in 20 now, it's 1 in 8. It's really fun right now. It's the first time since we've owned the business that we can actually say it's fun.
Can breathe a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you guys are looking fantastic. So you're obviously doing something right. So congratulations on that. Look, I think the industry is going through rapid changes, and the landscape is ever changing. But I think what is hard to not miss is the traditional real estate models. If you've got the right culture as you guys protect, ultimately your culture. But if you've got the correct mission and purpose, which is to serve people's real estate needs in the best possible way, and obviously enjoy the journey as you go, there is such a great future for traditional real estate models. And even though you don't have 20 reps anymore, I bet that you're doing as much, if not more, sales.
We are. Yeah, it's every time a rep who was maybe like a bit of a part-time rep dropped off and they weren't quite cutting it, there's always been a fear involved. Like if you had told us that we're going to go from 20 reps to 8 reps, we would have thought, oh, we're going to go bust. But there's more deals going on the board now than what there was when we had 20 reps. And what we put that down to right now is that when leads come in and people having to convert opportunities, it's not going out to part-timers who really can't convert them. Now it's going out to the Scotts and the Michaels and the Kips, and these are all really trained, educated agents with, and good people as well. Like they that they've got their client's best interests at heart. So they're doing the right thing and they're getting the results for it. Again, Scott, 4 years in, I think he's, day 7 today. I think he's got 7 listings on the board this month, So he's running it a little right now. And I think he's got 4 deals on the board as well. So,
wow.
I mean, this is real dividends for guys who have done the hard yards. And I mean, if you made it in the last 4, if you did your if you did all your training and apprenticeship over the last 4 years, then you are just loving it now.
I know. Yeah.
Always, I can call someone, list their house in 2 days, and then sell it the next day. So
yeah.
And have good news to share instead of like being the bad guy all the time. Rocking up to the same home opens and unfortunately not having the results that we all wanted. It's finally starting to turn around, and it's a really nice feeling
for landlords as well.
Yeah.
And Cara, you obviously also take care of property management. So how many managements have you guys currently carrying?
We're sitting at about 610.
Wow. So you've got that economy of scale happening, which is wonderful in a property management department. Total staff in the office, how many have you got?
It is about 20, if you count all the ones that we have on maternity leave.
Okay.
There's about 26, 27.
Wow. Yeah. That's a big responsibility, and especially in times like this where it's an ever-changing landscape. That's just a huge achievement, and I know you guys are doing really well. The office is beautiful. I know you were lumped with that renovation as well when you bought the business, which completely and utterly broke my heart. You've just lashed out every cent you've got to make an investment in this business, and then you get lumped with a renovation, and you guys just did it. But it's going to pay off because the office is just stunning and beautiful. So before I knock off here, and I really appreciate your time. I know you guys are super busy. Couple of points from each of you, a bit of advice that you would give someone who potentially is in a position where they could take over the office or buy the office, or they've just bought the office and perhaps they doing it tough. What advice? Couple of points, 2 or 3 from each of you guys. What tips or suggestions you would give them?
Sure. Do you want to go first?
Look, you've got to do your homework. You've got to do your homework. There is so much involved with buying a real estate office. We thought we knew. We had no idea. And we were very much. I suppose we're emotional buyers in a way. When it came to this office, we were tied in with the previous owners in a few different ways, and this is where we wanted to be. But yeah, just things like office fit outs, things that you just didn't see in the horizon. Again, we didn't know that the market was going to go through the downturn it did. I mean, I don't know how you predict and prepare for those things. And probably the one that got both of us was carrying, I suppose, all the emotional baggage of all your staff as well, because you can't help when you've got a tight office culture and you're very much a family, and we'll do things together on the weekends and all sorts of stuff. Then their problems become your problems, and And I think it's like having 35 vendors who are selling. You know, their problems become your problems, but more so on much more of a personal level when it's your staff who you really actually care about.
Yeah.
So I think that's which we both, you know, we've come to terms and to deal with that now. Also, just knowing that people are always going to be, you know, we've got very loyal people in here now, but we've had loyal people who get opportunities, you know, like they get poached, I suppose, more than anything. And when it comes down to it, everyone's in it for their best interests. As much as you want to help them and create a culture and give them a career path, when someone else is offering them a very lucrative carrot, like, people do leave, you know, and
you got to get okay with it because it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean,
don't take it personally.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally.
I
know we you know, I was a principal for 10 years, and one of the things in the first few years that absolutely ripped everyone that left, ripped a piece of me out, because I pour so much time and energy and money, of course, into them. So it does hurt. But I suppose, like they say in romance, you know, if you love someone, let them go. And, you know, if it's meant to be, they'll come back. And they do. So it is true. But that's beautiful, mate. Appreciate that. What about yourself, Cara? What tips and advice would you give?
Go all day.
Yeah.
So much. I'm so passionate about this, and the I guess where the next generation of real estate business owners are coming from. I wrote a blog about it.
Yes.
So you want to plug that if you would like.
Well, send it to me and I'll put it on my Facebook page. So I'll let everybody read it. So absolutely.
I had a very I guess rude shock coming into business ownership. There was so much that I wasn't prepared for, and I just felt like I have to write this down. I have to tell people, because otherwise no one is going to do this and actually stick it through. So my big ones would be just make sure you're very, very well supported, and I mean that in an emotional way, in a physical sense, financially. Please make sure, if you are going to take this giant leap of faith, it is not just you. It is your family. It is your friends. It is everyone. If you're going into business partnership with someone, God, pick the right person. We've been so fortunate, but so many of the stories that you hear, you know, people's situation changes and they're, you know, it's not what they were going into, and then, you know, it's very, very awkward to get out of. If you are going at it alone, for the love of God, make sure that you have good people around you that are going to pick you up on the really tough days, and keep you up on every other day. Contingency, because there will be all the things that you don't think about. It will happen, and just never stop learning, and always be chasing something. You know, keep goals fresh, and when you hit a goal, make a new one, and just just keep going. Don't think, just do. Keep going, and you'll get there.
It gets better.
It does get better, but it is a lot of work. And if you get into business ownership thinking that you're going to have all the freedom in the world, then you're wrong.
Couple more questions. Tell me about, how do you guys manage the balance? Because I know you've both got families. You know, you've got kids. Tell us about the balance. How do you manage that?
It's something which you've got to keep a really tight hold on yourself, because
discipline.
Especially right now it's such a good market, and I'm seeing it not just with us but with our staff as well, like especially the sales guys. You can be doing so much, and there's so much business out there, but you know, we've got families, they've got families, and if you don't actually schedule in days off, time off, divert the phone, you know, we're both guilty of it. We'll both pick up our phone on our day off. It's Cara's day off today, and she's here.
Cara.
Don't tell them. No, it's
well, thank you so much. It means
you're welcome.
It's ever so more special to have you on board, and really appreciate that. But take time in lieu. So you've got to give yourself back this time that you've taken.
Noted.
Yeah, and we pull each other up on it as well.
Yeah,
we really do.
Good.
Like if you know the other one's stressed, and this is one of the beautiful things about having a business partner who's on the same level as you. Yeah, and when things are going well, and now we've got some really key people in this office who you have faith in that they can, if you're not here, the place is not going to fall apart. Probably learning to put those people in place. If you're talking about things, advice for new business owners, there's some things you have to learn to let go of, because if you try to carry it all, which we've both done at times, you try to carry all of it and you just fall in a heap anyway. Yeah. And you've got these people and you're paying these people, and you know who your good people are. You can trust them. You just got to, give them that responsibility.
I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to ask you 2 more questions. I'll let you each answer one. So Cara, has it been worth it? Is your question. Has it been worth it?
Yeah, look, depends what day you ask me. No, look, I don't want to do anything else. This is me for life now. And I made that commitment a long, long time ago, that this is where I wanted to be and what I wanted to dedicate my career to. And I am enjoying it. Not every day, but most days it is so rewarding, and what you put into it, you do get back. So it's one of those things, once it's in you, I think it's just there. It's just part of who I am. So I do really enjoy it. Would I do things differently? I think I probably would. But very, very happy to be where we are now.
And hindsight's a wonderful thing, but we wouldn't have learned what we've learned had we just slipped into it. But no, you've done an amazing job, and you guys are an amazing team. Glen, last question for you. Where to from here for you guys?
Yeah, so from here, I suppose we're just now, the last 6 months, which have been good, and we've started to, really start making a big dent in some of our debts and starting to move forward. And I suppose the last 4 years, we came in and the first year with all these dreams and ambitions, and 4 years of down market kind of squashed those a bit. They were there, but they just definitely were on the back burner. Right now, we're just starting to look at what's next again. So exploring options of, satellite offices, where do we go next? We've got a good team. We've got people in here that will want. We have started exploring where to, as far as another office goes. Just keep building our rent roll. That's goals in place to make that bigger. Probably no real ambition to have the sales team much bigger than it is now. It's a very well-oiled machine right. Probably to hone down a little bit on our recruitment right now. We've got some really good rookies. We've always had good rookies because we put a lot of time into them. But yeah, probably just starting to explore where the next option is as far as the next office, Ryan.
Yeah, I suppose with what we're talking about, this ever-changing landscape, and even though things are going quite well, and they should keep going well for us, I think it probably could be a good idea just to hammer it at some of that debt so that you bulletproof yourself for future markets. And then, if it continues to thrive, then the expansion is always going to be there. So guys, you guys have been amazing. Sorry I've kept you so long. I have been greedy, but you guys have been a pleasure to talk to. I've loved working with you guys over the years, and I've loved watching your story. And I know you guys are super passionate. I know you're lovely people, and the culture in your office stands out like a real well-oiled machine. So huge congratulations for that. And we wish you all the best, and we're going to continue monitoring your journey and hopefully be a part of it in some way, shape or form.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Cara. Thanks, Glen. Have a great day. Now, Cara, go and have the rest of the day off.
Okay, one call and then I'm going.
Yeah, right.